how's it going everyone? I'm SirJames coming at you guys with yet another lightsaber review. This time we're going to be taking a look at a lightsaber from the pack store as part of the Ultimate Works lightsaber collection, which is going to be Starkiller's lightsaber from Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. I hope you guys are having a good May 4th. I know it's still early on by the time this video is going up. And look, I kind of updated the backdrop a little bit. Got some new images up here, which features the Star Wars films from Episode 1 all the way over here, all the way down to Episode 9 that I recently picked up on my Disney trip. And I got a couple other images that I'll showcase a little bit later on with some additional information. Now, this lightsaber was sent to me courtesy of a viewer, so thank you for that. And don't worry, I don't have just one of these, because obviously Starkiller in The Force Unleashed 2 wields two lightsabers instead of one. So therefore, we have basically an identical lightsaber over here, but I'm just going to hold the one for now so I can go ahead and kind of go over all of the things that you need to know, as these are relatively simple as far as the Ultimate Works series goes. Give you guys close-ups and all that fun stuff, and then of course in just a bit we'll go outside and swing this around. Now I do want to note that when I go outside and swing, I'm not used to wielding two lightsabers in hands. I'm more used to wielding a double-bladed lightsaber. But two individual ones, I don't know what I could do, but we'll see what happens as we go along. So anyways, let me give you guys a closer look here. Now, someone might point out and say, wait a minute, that doesn't look like Starkiller's lightsaber from The Force Unleashed 2. That's because there is actually two lightsabers. There's this one here that is what he's using in the game. And then there's another lightsaber that is used in the promotional images as well. So there's two different ones, so technically if you are a lightsaber collector, then you'll probably want to get both sets. In this case, you're looking at 4 sabers in total, 2 of this one, which already comes in a bundle, and then there's the other one that comes in another 2, which I believe Corbanth has on their website. You got a nice window emitter up here on the very top, which is going to look cool once we have the blade inserted. As far as buttons go, this is actually not a button right here. It looks like it'd be a button, but this red piece is just for, obviously, looks. As far as the buttons go, you do have one small one right here, and then you have another one just across on the other side. If you need access to your pommel, or for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Ultimate Works lightsabers collection, what's really cool about the Ultimate Works lightsabers from the pack store is the fact that they are kind of like multi-useful, interchangeable. Obviously, if you're trying to build a lightsaber collection, it can get a little bit tough, especially if you're considering getting this lightsaber installed, that one installed, and all that eventually racks up as far as the costs go. But what's cool with the Ultimate Works lightsaber collection is the fact that they're all interchangeable for the most part. I think there was only one that wasn't, which was the Darth Maul saber, because that used a special chassis. But basically what you're able to do is that you can typically unscrew the pommel section of the Ultimate Works lightsabers. And this right here is going to be the chassis that you can pop out. Now, the one slight downside that I have on this particular hilt is that this one is a lot difficult to reach because it's kind of way up there. So you would have to use something additional just to be able to remove that, which I do have this little brush thing. It's got like a little loop on it. So let's see if I can go ahead and pull this out to share with you guys. Now, both of these are installed with the Proffie hearts. So here is what the chassis will look like. You have this side here, which will glow. If you wanted that enabled, I actually didn't have the glowing enabled, just to conserve on a little bit of the power. Then over here, we have the Proffie board. And of course, we also have the battery. If you need access to the Proffie board, it's easiest to remove the battery and then go ahead and plug in the corresponding cables to go ahead and download and install fonts. If you're unfamiliar how to use Proffie, there's a little bit of a challenge and learning curve for installing fonts on that particular one. But what's cool about Proffie is that there's all kinds of really cool lightsaber effects. I don't really have too many crazy effects on here. There's one that I used with Fulcrum. So Ahsoka's lightsaber effect, which it'll start as red, and then after I do a certain activation sequence, we go from red to obviously a more purified crystal color, which is pretty cool. Other than that, The top part can go ahead and unscrew. You don't really need to. This does include a blade plug with your purchase. If you guys could slightly see it, it's pretty deep in there. In fact, let me go ahead and remove that. Let's see, what did I do with the tool? Oh, it's right here in my pockets. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm not sure what you guys have plans today. I know Disney recently released a Legacy lightsaber as part of a limited edition run. Technically, it's a reissue, but it comes with a music box, which is Ahsoka's Rebel Saber, since we're talking about her. But anyways, here is the blade plug. Pretty nice plug with a NeoPixel little connector on the bottom here. When it's in here, you don't really get that much of an effect like some of the other lightsabers, but it's still cool that you get the plug regardless. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this out because we're going to go ahead and put the blade on anyways. I will say, as far as comfort goes, this does feel really good in the hands. I don't really feel like this red part is going to cause any issues or anything like that, which is a good sign. Obviously, as long as everything works and feels good in the hand, then that's all that really matters. So as far as the screws go, there are 4 locations where you can go ahead and tighten your blade. You got one located right here on the front that you can slightly make out. It's kind of blending in. There's one directly behind, and there's 2 more on the sides. One on the left and one on the right. Obviously, when you're putting in your NeoPixel lightsaber blade, you want to ensure that everything's got a nice snug connection, and you don't want to over tighten the screws, because if you over tighten, you could potentially damage your blade. Now, as far as the installation options go, you can get it from empty, pre-kit, which again, if you've never had an UltimateWorks lightsaber before, if you, let's say, bought one in the past fully installed, instead of having to buy a fully installed one once again, you could opt in for the pre-kit option, where you save a lot of money, and when you get it, all you do is remove the core from your original saber and pop it into your new one, and that's it. There's the Proffie option, and there is the, what was it, I forget what the board was. It's been a while since I've reviewed an UltimateWorks saber, but there's a non-Proffie version as well. I personally, again, like Proffie because of all the effects and stuff that you can get to go with it. So let's go ahead and switch to the first font. Hopefully I have the core set up right.
Betrayed by Vader for the last time. A new journey begins.
So I already have this set up to go with the first font, which is going to be in relations to Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. In fact, let me go ahead and kind of show you guys a comparison between Starkiller's Force Unleashed 1 versus his Force Unleashed 2 lightsabers. Now, as you guys know, I originally gave away my Starkiller lightsaber hilts, so this is version 2.0, if you guys were curious, and there are some subtle differences. But that's the main difference. Obviously, for me personally, I'm still a huge fan of his Force Unleashed 1 lightsaber design, just because I like the exposed crystal and the muggy look to it. Just really cool and unique. And also, speaking of the Force Unleashed, if you guys happen to own a Nintendo Switch, the Force Unleashed 1 actually got a Wii port over to the Nintendo Switch, which is available on the eShop, and I believe Limited Run Games also has a few bundles available, unless they're already sold out. So if you guys were curious too, worth checking out. And don't worry, we're going to go outside in just a moment. I just want to be able to let you guys hear it before we go out there, just in case the audio makes it a little bit harder. Go ahead and turn off this light here. The only thing that I really added as far as some fonts is I have also enabled the twist on and twist off. It makes it a little bit easier instead of having to reach up here and press the button to do so. It's just going to be with ease, just be able to flick the wrist and turn it on when I need it, and then to turn it off. Let me go ahead and quickly showcase the Ahsoka font, and then I'm going to go ahead and set up outside and to try to swing 2 of these. Again, I've never done it, but we'll see if I can do something. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and switch. Oh, that's the turn on.
I wonder.
There we go. So obviously we're on Ahsoka Saber font Fulcrum. As you can see, it's red, or as camera is appearing to be, an orangish color. Unless if I go up here, you can see the red right there. But if I'm doing this correctly, oop. Let me go ahead and try that once more.
He's been working on that thing for weeks.
What kind of lightsaber could he possibly build with the junk we have laying around?
We have Ezra's on here. Apologies for the mistake.
Ray Skywalker.
It seems I wondered.
There you go. Oh, there we go. I was pushing the wrong button setup. So obviously, as you can see, we have the red setup, but as soon as I twist this, we go to a more of a wider version. It's a white blue, so you can kind of see some effects better. But we can easily kind of change from that red to white, and then press a button, and we are good to go. So let me go ahead and go outside and give this a swing, and then give you guys my final verdict.
You are about to achieve your primary programming, Master. I wondered when you would return. He's been working on that thing for weeks. What kind of lightsaber could he possibly build with the junk we have laying around?
Ray Skywalker.
General Krell, you're being relieved of duty.
Alright, so welcome back everyone. Just reset up the camera right after falling a couple times. Like I said, I'm not used to holding two lightsabers in my hand. Unless if it's a double-bladed, that's a different story. But two individual ones, I was trying to more have it in the back and how SirKiller would use it in the games. And it's tricky. At least for me, it's tricky. Obviously, probably in time, if I keep practicing at it, I would probably be more comfortable and be able to, you know, do more things than whatever I was doing right out there. But looking over the hilts, just to kind of observe if there's anything that might have happened, to see if there's anything that might have happened to my hand, like was there any sharp edges that caused any kinds of cuts or scrapes on me? And the answer is no, there's no cuts or scrapes or anything along any of my hands. And as far as the hilts go, they are standing perfectly fine with no issues that I could see, besides obviously my fingerprints all over the model, which I'll go ahead and clean off after this review. But that's really about it. So both hilts definitely worked out pretty well for my somewhat of a demo out there, which is a good thing. My hand was already sliced off right there in that moment. Good thing these aren't real. I guess they're real to us. But yeah, overall they're pretty cool. So personally, if you are someone who is collecting all things related to Star Wars The Force Unleashed 1 and 2, and you are planning on getting SirKiller's lightsabers into your collection, again, just note that there are two different ones. So whether or not you want to get both hilts to your collection, that's one option. Or figure out, do you prefer the one that he uses in-game, or do you prefer the one over the promotional arts? Maybe eventually down the road, I'll take a look at the other version, and we can go ahead and see those together as well, and make our initial judgments. But personally, I think between the two, I really like how this one feels. Feels good in the hands. Obviously, with practice, I can get used to it. Man, I'm still a little bit out of breath. I was actually a little bit out there longer than normal, but other than that, I think they're a really cool set of hilts. But again, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Easily recommend, and I'll have a link to these as well. But before I go, I want to share some other information. I have a couple images that I wanted to share with you guys, and also to inform you, the KR Saber Scavenger Hilt has finally came in. I got it with the Master Chassis. It's not currently installed. I have to send it over to, I believe it was Solo Sabers, who would be doing the install. So whenever those get done, then I'll let you guys know, and so you can look forward to that one. As for a couple pieces of art, besides what I got up there, I also got these two things here, which I picked up at the Disneyland Resort. This first piece here is I got at the Star Traders. Really cool cockpit view of the TIE Fighter pilot gunning down a X-Wing, which is pretty cool. And this one that I thought was really cool, especially because it's not a scene that we get in the original trilogy, but you see Vader with a set of snowtroopers prepping to board an AT-ST for the Battle of Hoth, which you can go ahead and see right there. So let me know what you guys think about these in the comment section down below. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful May 4th. Until then, may the Force be with you, and hopefully you guys look forward to Revenge of the 5th. Till then, have a great one.